Hi, I'm Jack Baruzzini, and you're listening to The Secrets of Stargate, where we talk about the hidden meanings and deeper layers found in the Stargate movies, TV series, and more. And joining me today are Father Cory Sticha. Hi, Father.
Hey, great to have you hosting instead of me.
That's good to be back. And Lisa Jones. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Jack.
And Victor Lambs. Comtreya, Victor.
Comtreya!
And today we are discussing the 21st episode of Season 4, Double Jeopardy. The SG team arrives on a planet only to discover that they have been there before, but they don't remember it. The people of the planet say that they have been freed from horror by SG-1 only to be enslaved by Kronos. The team is taken captive by Kronos, and Daniel Jackson has his head blasted off to reveal that he is a robot. Back at the SGC, the real team answer a call from Harlan, Comtreya, and it turns out that the android SG-1 counterparts have been hopping around the galaxy just like the real team. The real SG-1 travel to the planet to help free the captured team and liberate the people from the Goa'uld. In the ensuing battle, the robotic Teal'c kills Kronos, thus giving the real Teal'c the revenge that he had sought. What are your thoughts on this episode, Father?
Oh, I enjoy this one. First of all, the duplicates it's so much fun to see them. Especially Richard Dean Anderson getting to get out some of his inner demons.
Oh yeah,
some inner thoughts and stuff like that. But no, it's a good episode. It's a really really enjoyable episode. Well done episode, especially with we don't have no, he's the real one. No, he's the real one. You don't have that that thing going on. So that's always a plus when you have a duplicates episode without that. But no, I like this. I've liked this one. I didn't remember what it was about, and then as soon as I saw it was the replicants, like, oh yeah, this is one worth watching.
It was funny because I've been getting caught up on the episodes that I missed while I was out, but I've not finished them all yet. Mm-hmm. And so when I started this one, I was like, wait, did I miss something? Like, and I was like, well, yeah, we all did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked that. What about you, Lisa?
Yeah, I like that they kind of took a season 1 episode and brought it back to us in season 4 in a not obvious way. So it was, you're watching it and you're thinking, what's going on? Because obviously I noticed right away that Carter's hair is different. It's longer than she had it chopped off and beneath the surface. So this has always been kind of a fun one. It's neat, like Father Cory said, to see Jack versus Jack, and where he gets on there and he's like, "Hey George, what's happening?" To General Hammond, and just yelling at Harlan, and it's just kind of a fun one. Get to see Teal'c get his revenge on Kronos, and kind of nice, what you might call Planet of the Week or one-off episode in that way, but it wraps up some stuff and it sets up a opportunity for a really good finale for the season.
I am sad that we did not get to see Dom DeLuise again, but he probably was a bit too expensive to bring in for more than one episode. What about you, Victor?
Maybe his sons could sweet talk him next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this episode. I like that it has like a good switcheroo type twist in it where, SG-1 is on a planet. They say that they've been there before, but we know they haven't, been there before. It turns out they actually have been there before. We just didn't see it. But, that's always something that, what some shows establish that in the rules. It's like other things are happening. You don't see every adventure that these people go on. Other ones are like, you see everything that happens to these characters, over the course of this season. So it's kind of a nice situation where we are basically in the same position as the robot doubles. We don't really know what's going on. And then they kind of meet out the there are clues early on. You mentioned Sam's hair, Daniel's hair. He's not wearing glasses. Jack's hair isn't gray. All that stuff is. And then you get the shocking reveal when Daniel does get his head blown off, taking his robot head blown off, taking Michael Shanks out of the episode as he's directing this one. And it's a very challenging episode, I have to imagine, to direct because there is a lot of action. And then there's the twinning, which, you have a single actor playing two characters on screen at the same time and stuff. And so that can get very, very tricky. So yeah, there's a lot going on. I really like it. I like the message at the end where, robot Jack becomes a real boy, so to speak, finally gets, human Jack to acknowledge that he is real. He's an artificial life form, but he's definitely a real sentient there. So yeah, I like this episode a lot, and we get to see not one but two Goulds taken out in creative ways, and it's a very momentous episode.
Mm-hmm. I thought they did a good job with the having both the actors on screen at the same time. They did a lot of the reverse shot over the shoulder stuff, because I'm sure that's easier and cheaper, but you do have that one point where Jack is fighting himself, and he's got him in like a headlock, and they both look up, and I thought that was pretty seamless, so that was fun to see.
Yeah, they did a good job with a lot of that special effect. Now Dan Shea was probably the O'Neill over the shoulder, since he's his body double, basically his stunt double. So, but even when it was both of them facing, where you couldn't do that, it was still pretty well done, especially for the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There was a bit of, I feel like it was unintentional comedy at the beginning when the SG team comes onto the planet and all the Goa'uld come out and capture them. They're like talking to each of them, and then he turns to Jack to say something to him, and he's just gone. And it's like there's like 10 dudes standing there. How do you just sneak off?
Easily, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some good subterfuge on roboJack's part, where he basically does the Wizard of Oz thing and dresses up as the Winky, and puts the mud on his face and does the march into the Wicked Witch's castle there. But yeah, so it is we have kind of like a right away Daniel Robot is taken out, so we know that there are stakes there. Not everyone is going to survive. And we have the ticking clock, basically, because as Harlan comes through, and Harlan's scenes are a delight. I mean, he just Jay Brazeau just like steals the show. That could be the name of his like autobiography, like Jay Brazeau steals the show. But no, and then we know that their power source, which Robot Sam's design, only lasts for 48 hours, and of course, Human Sam wants to take a look at those power supplies.
Oh yeah,
she maybe gets a chance with roboJack, but
yeah, because at the end, I guess we're left with just Teal'c and Sam left.
Well, Teal'c, it said he wasn't in good shape, so we don't know if he survived.
That's true. Yeah,
and Harlan's still around.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And SG-1 has a Goa'uld mothership now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Not for very long, but they do they do have one. That's the running joke in Stargate, is that whenever they get like a super powerful alien ship, they do this in Atlantis at least twice, it gets destroyed like 2 episodes later at most.
Yeah.
Because it's too powerful for them to hold on to, and so it's like, oh, we got this super battles. Oh no, we don't.
Gotta nerf their abilities.
Yeah.
Hey, well, they copied that for the new Battlestar Galactica, the reboot Battlestar Galactica, because Galactica was being beat to heck, and then Pegasus shows up, look like fresh out of dry dock, and was it like 3 episodes later it gets blown up, gets sacrificed?
Yeah,
something like that. So
can't make it too easy for them.
So we have some really good guest stars in this episode. We mentioned Jay Brazeau, but we also have 2 other members of the cast, the guy who played Kronos and the guy who played Kronos' second in command. All 3 of them were on episodes of MacGyver. So this was kind of a MacGyver reunion.
Nice.
In that. Yeah, and the very first Jaffa we see, the really tall one who has like the big boomy voice, where is he? Find him. Get him. That guy. John DeSantis. He actually has a couple of roles on Supernatural. He plays a golem on the episode, and it's like 12 years after this one, but he plays a golem in the episode Everybody Hates Hitler. So
is that the name of the episode?
That's the name of the episode, and it's a kind of a good standalone episode to watch if you are on Netflix.
And for the record, he shares a famous last name with a famous Florida governor, but
that's true.
Is not related.
I was about to make that joke, and he has found time to become the governor of Florida too. So
yeah,
that's true. Yeah, different John DeSantis. This guy's I think a little taller, maybe.
Ron is the Florida one.
Yeah.
I still feel like all the Goa'uld are just kind of typecast as the bar bouncers, and they just don't feel alien enough to me. But hey, what can you do?
Well, if you think about it, we're with the death of Kronos, we're down a lot of Gould from the original first, second seasons or so. Don't have a lot left, and that's I'm not gonna say a good thing, but we're gonna continue seeing Apophis for a little while longer, and then we're gonna get some new ones. So
that's true. They're clearing the slate. I mean, we still have you. We'll always have you. So
yeah.
Yeah.
We're simply mad about you.
That's right.
But no, and we get not one but two Goulds. We have Jaden, kind of a Gould scientist played by a New Zealand actress, Belinda Weymouth, Belinda Weymouth plays and very effectively, I thought, plays kind of this very very thorough Gould scientist who is examining the robot doubles and determines that that they do sympathize with each other, they feel pain, but she unwittingly kind of activates the self-destruct on Daniel's chest.
What's this? Yeah. What's this doing? Oh yeah, it's gonna blow you up now. Boom.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll just sit there for another 5 seconds while it counts down.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was a little easy for Carter, right? I mean, Robot Carter.
Yeah.
Just press those 2 buttons. Okay.
Well, knows Gould psychology. It's like, well, I'm smarter than you. Doesn't matter who you are. So
yeah. You're the one behind the force field. You can't hurt me.
Yep.
So
By the way, you gotta love the laser beam force field.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And the crystals, which looked like some sort of 1970s like wall decoration. It was like the thin slices.
Yeah.
They're starting to get them a little bit more crystal-like than they have before. Now, once we get to Atlantis, they are look like chunks of crystals, like from Superman's Solitude, Place of Solitude up in the pole.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked her character a lot. She was more subtle and conniving, I felt like. I would have liked to see more of her, but oh well. She went boom.
Who wouldn't?
They were good at the beginning of not making it clear that these weren't the real SG-1, that these were the robo SG-1s. And the first real hint they gave, other than we were here, that we've been there before, is when Sam was called Major, and she kind of goes, "They called me Major. Where did that come from?" That was kind of the first real hint of like, okay, these aren't the real SG-1.
Yeah.
And then, of course, shortly after, Harlan pops out of the Stargate there. I love it. He sends the IDC signal, Comtreya, and they're like, do we have to let him through?
Right.
Yeah.
Just don't want to be bothered with him.
Yeah.
I was watching him this time, and I wondered how much direction they gave him into creating the character, because he's got that big cowl neck, and at one point he kind of like gets down.
He just turtles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he turtles into the neck, and he goes, "Ooh,"
Yep.
And I just think, what a great character is he? I mean, I just love the way he played it as an actor, and I don't know, just like, was that just like an improv? Did they do? I loved it because it just made him so enjoyable to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always a lot of fun.
Well, and he had that same kind of sort of an Eastern European accent, same kind of thing. And he's kind of like, well, I guess I'll just go. Oh, well,
And when they tell him that where's Daniel and where's Dr. Jackson? They say, oh, he's on a mission, and he's like, oh, you do that so much. Still, he's very distressed that because he can't distinguish between robot SG-1 and the human SG-1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just refer to them as you, and you went on this mission, and
yeah. I just love for him as a guest actor. They, we've talked about ones they've used poorly and ones they've used well. And I felt like he was just used so well in this episode.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad they brought him back too. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, then you get roboJack, yelling at him, "You stay put, Harlan, you stay there."
Yeah.
And you would think, since he was able to create the robotic bodies fairly easily, that he would back up their memories in case something like this happened. But you have sci-fi logic, and you can't really do that because it kind of takes the point of the episode away.
Well, that's like the 24th century saying they don't have a way to back up a emergency medical hologram.
Yeah.
Voyager.
Yeah.
There's only one copy of him, and they can't make a backup. And
Yeah, when he's on the mobile emitter, yeah, and maybe it's just because like the human mind is so complex that the robots are like the only thing that are have the storage to hold it or something. Or they also promised that he wouldn't make more copies. I think back in the original Tin Man episode, and so maybe this is just his way of honoring that.
Of course, we don't know what they did with the bodies, the robot bodies.
That's true.
So who knows? Maybe he fixed them.
Yeah, they must be using volatile memory if they die when their batteries run out.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that I didn't think about that. That is weird.
But we don't get
just remember last episode we did have Sam talk about how the human mind has several terabytes of storage.
Yeah,
I mean,
terabyte
that was a lot of storage back then. So.
Yeah.
I mean, you could always, compress them into a zip file, shrink it down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a good thing they didn't try to download both like a Gould or a Tok'ra. You got two people in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would have been more than a couple terabytes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much a Gould mind would take up. They seem to be pretty one track.
Yeah.
I was getting the host mind's not so much, but no.
Yeah. But yeah, I did like the way they did the reveal with Daniel getting his head blown off, because that was it was kind of shocking for them to do that to what everyone is thinking is a main character. And so I like that they just went for it.
Yeah. And that, they used it to show that Kronos wasn't a god because he was shocked at it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody in the room was shocked, but it was kind of nice. I mean, not nice that Daniel got his head chopped off, but
yeah.
Yeah.
But dramatically nice. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Another
And then to
dramatically
make sure
nice.
that we,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. And then make sure that we know he's dead, they blow him up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's really what you should do when you're dealing with a robot.
Yeah. Although like there's probably enough left of, Teal'c, Sam, and Jack that they could try to reanimate them or like cobble together one robot out of the working parts of each, That would be kind of
a Tuvix situation going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuvix. It's too horrible.
Justice for Tuvix.
Yeah. Another thing I did like, and it's just a little element, but because the guy, the alien chief guy, I'm blanking out. It's Darian. Yeah, so Darian goes home and like his wife is there, and they're like, "Pray thee, what adventures befell you at yon temple today?" And then it turns out Jack's there hiding and is getting information from them. And then he's like, "Close your eyes," and they close their eyes, and they're like,
"Oh yeah.
Well, when should we open our eyes?" And they open their eyes, and of course Jack is like left while their eyes were closed. And they play like this magical chime sound effect, like Jack just pulled off like the most elaborate trick, and really just like left when their eyes were closed. But it's just hilarious. They play like music.
Maybe it was to drive home the simplicity of the planet's natives or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
That was something that was difficult. Well, I feel like it was kind of the weakness of the episode was that the actual people on the planet were so bland and boring, and they looked just like the cookie cutter, like primitive Viking people from several of the other planets that kind of just forgot about them. Like Darian has that change of heart where he ends up helping them, but because you didn't see his original character arc when they initially come to the planet, it didn't really have any sort of emotional impact, I felt like.
Yeah, I thought their little crossbow guns or whatever they were, bolt guns or whatever they were kind of cool looking. And I thought it was really interesting that Kronos lets the primitive people or lets the people keep their weapons while they're in audience with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's when they march the robots in, they're held by a mixture of Jaffa and these like, primitive aliens that, only recently swore allegiance to him. So, I thought that was pretty interesting.
Well, he's got his shield, so I suppose he figures that's well enough.
And then he hands them a staff weapon.
That's true.
Yeah.
and just trust that he's going to, because we've seen that happen how many times where they, someone with the staff weapon turns and shoots somebody else, but that's not a big deal.
He's a god. He doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Right back to the original
until he turns
movie.
his back on someone. Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And I did like Darian, when he sees the two Jacks at the same time and he goes, "This is very strange to me." And Jack goes, "This kind of thing happens to us all the time."
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Or is it Sam? I don't know who said
I think
that
it was
one.
Sam who said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some really good one-liners here, kind of like General Hammond saying to Jack, "So your robot counterpart is equally as good at following orders as you."
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
With the
Because
first thing
SG-1 told him to bury it, and they unburied it and started traveling through the universe.
Yeah. And when the two Jacks are fighting, Carter's like, "Sirs," and then she's like, "As much as I'd like to see how this turns out,
Yeah.
we have more important things to do."
Yeah.
It's like, you could see that, like, I wonder who's going to win.
Yeah.
And Carl Jung would have a field day with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there's another line about where Jack's arguing with roboJack, and roboJack says, "Yeah, this is the first time you've ever lied to yourself."
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, and he says like, we're better than you, but better. Yeah. Better,
Yes.
stronger, faster. Yeah.
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 I think this might've been before the Daft Punk song, but I don't know.
Well, that sounds like $6 Million Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That too. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's well before this. So.
Yeah.
I like that the first thing that roboJack does when he gets on the comms is start arguing with himself.
Yep.
Yeah. And I like that scene too, because they actually very effectively have, people talking and they're facing, the control monitors at the front of the control room, and behind them, they have the mount footage, mirrored on the monitors behind them. So even though, Jack is facing one way, you can kind of see Robot Jack behind him, talking and interacting as well. And I thought that was very nicely done.
Yeah.
Mhm. The only thing I thought strange when Harlan came through, or when they first encountered him on the, talking to him, was that if you really think about that episode in season 1, the non-robot SG-1 really didn't have much at all interaction with Harlan. It was all the robots.
Oh, that's right.
Interacted.
Yeah.
And so, where Jack is saying, do we really have to? And he's talking to him like he had all that interaction. So that kind of thing was confusing to me for a minute, because I was thinking back to that season 1 episode thinking, wait a minute, no, that was the robots who had all the interaction with Harlan. In the episode, they just came in at the very last minute, remember? And,
Yeah.
and
But they
interacted
did-
with their robots.
I think they did mention that there was this funny little guy who was there when we arrived. So they may have interacted with, and then we also don't know, like at the end of that episode, we see SG-1 leaving, but they might have, stuck around a little bit and just said, "Hey, how do your robots work?" Or, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I love that Carter was so interested in, "Oh, can I see it?"
Yeah.
The power pack in his chest. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, one thing I think might be a loophole, but I'm not, or not a loophole, but a plot hole. Did Teal'c know in the first season that Kronos killed his father? That it was Kronos that did it? Because that was revealed later, where he saw a vision of it.
I don't know.
I think he knew Kronos killed his father, but I'm not sure he knew how until he saw the vision that his symbiote gave him. But I think he always knew, because I think remember, that's why he became Apophis's first prime, was because Apophis was a sworn enemy of Kronos.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned that because I was thinking, okay, if Teal'c knew, then Teal'c had to know at that time. But I don't, and I know Kronos probably wasn't even part of the plot.
Yeah.
Of, as they're planning the series when this first episode was aired. But as it's been retconned, I couldn't remember if he knew or not. So
yes, because remember, it was Summit. Was that first season or second season? When Kronos first came.
season.
Second. Oh, okay.
But again, it's easy enough for them to just retcon that. Like, he knew it, but he didn't mention it because SG-1 hadn't heard of Kronos yet.
True.
Yeah, that's how I took it. Like, it didn't seem like when they revealed that it was something he didn't know.
Right. He just had never known exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
Did y'all find it interesting that Robot Teal died from one staff shot? I mean, and then Jack, on the other hand, took multiples, and then the batteries wore out. Like, it just seemed like Jack hung on for a lot longer than.
Yeah, he went down fighting though, which is kind of cool. I was kind of bummed. I mean, this is 2001, so it's 2 years after the Matrix. We didn't get any like robots like doing like the Matrix moves and flipping, because Lexa Doig's character on Andromeda, Rami, you know, that's all she, like whenever there's a fight scene, she just goes into robot like mode and like runs up the walls and flips around and like shoots with 2 guns in either direction and stuff. And that would have been cool to see.
Now, wasn't she a hologram or Romy?
No, well, she was a ship's AI, a hologram, and a robot avatar.
Oh, that's right. That's right. She could, yeah. Now, I did like, if you've seen the old Aliens, the old Sigourney Weaver, the androids use white milk, quote unquote, blood, have white blood. Mm-hmm. And what do these have? White blood. Mm-hmm. So,
yep.
I'm sure that was probably a choice.
Yeah, the lithium grease.
Yep.
Get their check engine light will come on when that leaks out, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was just checking. I guess the robot SG-1 does come back, not on the show, but in a book. I guess there's a book called Hydra where a rogue NID operation recreates the robot SG-1s. So I haven't read too many of the books. I'm curious if any of our listeners have read any of the extended universe.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they even doing new Stargate books? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I did see.
Our listeners can tell us that too.
Yeah, I did see online that the Big Finish audio productions that they've done with certain members of the SG-1 cast are now back available. I didn't know that they were unavailable for a time, but I guess they're available again if you want to listen to Big Finish. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought them. I haven't listened to them yet, but I did buy them. So.
It's just hilarious because it's the same British cast that they use for Doctor Who, but they're doing the American SGC, like officers and stuff voices. And a lot of them, can do a passable American accent, but in many cases.
So it looks like
passable is a Nicola Bryant passable, or
no? Better than that, but in some cases not by much.
Nice. It does look like they were still publishing SG-1 novels as of at least 2019. So
okay,
excellent.
Yeah, but yeah, it would be cool, and I think most of the episodes preceding this it's pretty clearly indicated that it's the real SGC. But it is always fun to wonder, like, maybe one of these missions we saw was actually these guys, and he just didn't know it the whole time.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like you could pick your least favorite episode and like retcon it and say that was like 100 days or something or whatever it was. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was thinking the one with the guys in the white leotards with the zipper up the back.
Yeah.
No version of these characters deserves to be in that episode, though.
Yeah. And everybody was just getting cranky with each other because their batteries were running down.
Yeah.
But on power saver mode.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, 48 hours is an awfully short time considering how often their missions for the regular SG-1 team go wrong. Mm-hmm. I mean, how often do they end up somewhere stuck or things take too long? So if Carter can do 48 hours, why couldn't they carry like little portable generators or backup batteries or, like you do for your phone?
Yeah, it almost seemed like they're doing like mission tourism because they're not sending maps through. They're just kind of like running through Stargates and just seeing what's over there.
Yeah, 24
and then
hours.
just saying, let's do a mission. And then it's like a weekend, weekend warrior type thing. And then they're back. Yeah.
I'll probably anger somebody who's saying this. They're the National Guard version of SG-1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh.
Kidding. I'm just kidding.
They just need a getaway from Harlan. Is that it?
That's exactly what it is.
Parents having a quick getaway from your kids. You just need
I just imagine like Harlan sneaking through the gate ahead of them and like leaving little clues on like little pieces of paper. It's like the Jaffa warrior you seek is behind a tree 3 paces to the north. And then they go like, oh, and they find the next clue and stuff. And then they, and then they run, and they weren't expecting to actually see, real Jaffa on this one, and kind of threw him for a loop.
It's all just a LARP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am sad that they don't get to keep that the mothership, because that would definitely help them out. But I know they're going to get their own ships sooner, so that'll be fun.
We do get to see it next episode, though. It's not gone yet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a lot of plot points there. Kronos is dead. They have a mothership. We have final resolution on the Tin Man robots. So yeah,
tying up a lot of plot threads.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Season 4 is a good season. It's almost over, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's right. 2
more episodes.
Yeah, and then we're into season 5.
Yep.
On a related note, this is tangential to Stargate, but I recently watched the Ancient Apocalypse miniseries on Netflix. It's the Graham Hancock. He's this archaeologist depending on what you want to believe, and he has this theory that human beings were seeded by some ancient civilization 12,000 years ago, and so watching that back to back with watching Stargate is fun because they kind of dovetail together.
Yeah,
sure. Oh yeah.
So if you enjoy alternative takes on archaeology and things like that, it's a fun show.
Nice.
Awesome. Did y'all have any other thoughts on this episode?
Nothing here.
Mm-mm.
No, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, it was a nice, straightforward episode.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Before we go, I'd like to invite everyone to join us on our SQPN.com Discord. We have a Stargate channel over there, and it's a lot of fun. And I'd also like to take a moment to thank our patrons who make it possible for us to create the Secrets of Stargate, including Louise C., Michael R., Robert B., Michael P., and Kevin H. Their generous donations at sqpn.com/give make it possible for us to continue the Secrets of Stargate and all the shows at StarQuest. You can join them by visiting sqpn.com/give. And be sure to follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or on the SQPN YouTube channel. To find previous episodes of Secrets of Stargate and to send feedback, please visit sqpn.com/Stargate. And you can email us at stargate@sqpn.com or follow StarQuest on social media at facebook.com/StarQuestMedia or on Twitter at SQPN. And we'll be back next time when we'll be discussing the next episode of SG-1, Exodus. Until then, Father Cory, thank you for joining me and sharing the Secrets of Stargate.
Well, thank you, Jack.
And Lisa Jones, thank you as well.
Thanks, Jack.
And Victor Lambs, thank you too.
Thanks, Jack, and I believe we are done.
And once again, I'm Jack Baruzzini. Thank you for listening to the Secrets of Stargate on StarQuest.
Anyway, I'm sorry, but that just happens to be how I feel about it. What do you think?